Nature is a key aspect of everyone's lives. Everyone spends their lives with it either in the foreground or in the background. For much of my personal life, nature has been at the forefront. I've spent a large chunk of my life on a farm. It's a mix of rented out walnut trees and vineyards that my grandmother cares deeply about. Because of the maintenance my grandma spends on the grapes, I often forget that the walnuts are technically a part of her property as well. The vineyard is small in terms of vineyard size, but the walnut trees stretch around the entire property. I normally do the yard work and maintenance that is required for a farm of such a size. Everything has to be trimmed and maintained for function. But at the same time, nature is allowed to flourish. Flowers sprout up that were unplanned for. Crops that were spread by the wind in a previous year grow in random spots. It's a beautiful process where, although tiresome in the moment, it's beautiful in retrospect. I used to play soccer when I was younger. I stopped in high school due to my school not having any sports teams and being forced to go to other campuses to play. There's only one time I've ever hated a field in my entire life. Up in the foothills, one of the campuses has astroturfed their field. It is the only time I've ever been upset at a factor of soccer that was outside of my control. The ground trapped the 100-degree heat, and the heat transferred into our shoes and could not be dispersed back into the ground. I would have preferred the field to be entirely dead than to have to play on AstroTurf again. My favorite activity is actually swimming. I enjoy my grandma's pool, but my personal favorite is swimming in lakes and rivers. My only requirement for either is that they're relatively clean. I used to swim in my local lake, Hogan Lake, back when I played soccer. We would sometimes drop by on the way home and I would swim in it. It was a good time. I must admit, out of all the lakes I've actually swam in, it's probably one of the worst. The scenery is depressing when it's not the most vibrant part of spring, and despite the lake being a lake, everything is dead. Many other lakes like Tahoe or Comanche are significantly prettier, but Hogan feels like home. It may not be as nice as the others, but I enjoy it nonetheless. Recently, I've begun to go on walks to Yosemite Lake during my free time between classes. I've thought about swimming in the water, but I've decided otherwise. The walk is about an hour and a half when all is said and done. I really enjoy the walk. It's healthy, and it gives me a chance to clear my mind. I go far enough back that there's no one else at the park. I don't know why people don't go that far, probably because of the geese and lack of swimming, but I enjoy it. It gives me a chance to exercise and clear my mind. People tend to take nature for granted. If you ask them about it, more often than not, they respond with, "Oh yeah, I love nature. I just haven't really thought about it for a while." Humans love being surrounded by nature. It's a part of our culture. I would go as far as to argue that nature is a part of our soul. Every person, no matter how deep down you have to dig, craves exploration. They want to experience new things. They want to be the first to experience that new thing. We like nature for the unknown, for its vibrancy, and yet we tame it. We push it further and further back. We relegate it to trees on the downtown road. We plant a single tree or two, and we call it a day. Doing anything else, planting any other trees or plants, is considered above and beyond. We call it gardening for maintaining our very own, very manicured and carefully maintained slice of nature. I'm not arguing that we should return bears and deer to allow them to roam the streets. But if local neighborhood parks grew a few more trees, added a few more shrubs, put a few bird nests, changing the parks from empty grass fields to having just a little variety would be fresh and unique. It doesn't have to be a lot. It just has to be a start. We, as humans, are capable of so much more. It would take a little bit of work. It would take a little bit of time. I just believe we could do a little more. Making this project has helped to ground me a lot. Everything suddenly seems a lot more manageable. This film may not resonate with everyone else. It may be just for me, but at the same time, I'm happy that I made it, even if it is just for me.